Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Liam, this is my hobby room, and here I am, wearing my hoodie like a common hooligan. Like a ne'er-do-well. Yeah, sorry, this was really comfy, and I was like, yeah, I should put on a nice shirt, and then I just didn't, because I was too comfortable. I'm just too comfy. Anyways, today we're going to be doing a review of the HGUC GM Striker, and I was given this kit from Gunpla Network, so thank you very much to the Gunpla Network. They sourced it from Canadian Gundam, which is a Canadian Gunpla retailer. You can check them out and use the code Gunpla Network to get yourself 10% off your model kits. Make sure to get yourself something nice. Now, if you missed my unboxing of this kit and that is something you'd like to watch, I'll put a link up here with a little card where you can go take a look at it. This is a really fun kit. I liked working on it. I say that about pretty much every Gunpla. There are a few. To be fair, there are a few that I didn't think were very fun, but this one was really fun. Here is the GM Striker all snapped together on my little turntable here, and I really enjoyed putting this kit together. It's very simple. A lot of the GMs are, if you put together a GM, you've put together pretty much every GM, especially from this era. They all use the exact same inner parts. But yeah, it's a nice kit. It is pretty well articulated, despite it maybe not seeming so right out the gate. The ball joint hips are probably the most old school part of this kit, though yeah, the lack of waist articulation isn't really the most amazing, but it doesn't really matter in the long run. The kit looks so good. With a really nice coat of paint and some oil weathering, it's gonna really sing. It's gonna look fantastic, and I can't wait to start painting it. I'm gonna be doing that on my channel, Liam's Hobby Room. The joints in it are really stiff. Some of them are quite tight, especially in the shoulders. So you may want to do a little bit of sanding, just if you're gonna be moving your kit around a lot, just because I don't want you to break anything. That'd be really sad. The detail on this kit is very nice. The weapons are a lot of fun. That twin beam spear is just fantastic. It's just such a unique weapon. I would love to pick up one of those GM half strikers as well, which I think is like a GM 2 with some armor and one of these twin beam spears. I think that'd be fun. The pile bunkers in my shield are a little bit loose, but you know, that's not such a big deal. I think once it's painted, everything's gonna be quite tight. That's totally fine. The kit comes with quite a few accessories, and I think it's really hard to not display it with the twin beam spear. I think it's the most exciting accessory, but it looks really good holding that machine gun too, so it's going to be fun taking pictures of this kit. So the additional armor plating that's on top of its regular armor is really cool. Once I get to the weathering phase and do my panel lining and stuff with oils, it's all gonna stand out, I think, quite a bit better. I'm also gonna do some chipping on this thing. Something that keeps popping out at me is the yellow thrusters on the bottom of the feet, which are obviously not that visible, the back of the legs, and the backpack. While the rim around those thrusters would look good yellow, I'm just going to paint the insides some kind of gray. I'm not really sure yet, just to kind of match the tone of it. But yeah, the kit is pretty nice, and I'm really psyched to start working on it. Alright, so with the twin beam spear right out of the gate, I have to burst your bubble that it does not hold very well in the hand. Unfortunately, because it's cylindrical, just by the nature of, the object being cylindrical, it just kind of wiggles around. The only way I was able to get it to stay still in photos was by putting a bit of sticky tack on the inside there. However, that's actually really easy to fix, so when I go back and start doing a little modification to the kit and get it ready for painting, I'm just going to put some plastic card in there so it holds it nice and square, and then, you'll be able to get all kinds of fun poses with it. But for now, yeah, it's just gonna do this. So, sorry, I know the turnaround was a little deceptive, but I thought it was worth it to get some cool shots with it. So with the twin beam spear, both the spears move in tandem together, so they can move forward into scythe mode or move up into rod mode. And of course, these can just be detached and used as regular beam sabers if you so wish, but I mean, like, I don't know, if you're getting the GM Striker, this is kind of the main event. If you try and move one and not both of them at the same time, they can kind of get stuck and pull on each other. So to avoid stressing the joint within, just bend them both at the same time, and then, oh, look at that. And you'll get a nice bend. Next up, we have the spike shield. This is a really cool shield. I know there is one that is made by the Gunpla HD Builders parts kind of thing, and it looks very similar to this. I think it's all gray though, just because all those parts are molded in gray. It's pretty expensive, I think, on the open market right now, but it's really cool. So the shield has some pretty sweet detail on the inside. And it has these two articulated pile bunkers which move in and out If it's easy to see, there you go, that's easy. This part is actually hollow out of the box, so I just filled it and sanded it down with some epoxy putty, and then once it's painted up, you're not going to be able to know it was even there. I'm going to do some weathering around these parts. I think it's going to look really cool. You can attach this to the forearm with this little grip here, this little joint you can slide into. It should look very familiar if you've built any of these gym kits before. And this kit actually comes with 2 different arm attachment hardpoints. This longer one is the one you're going to want to use. This short one here doesn't actually fit into the arm, though it can hold the shield, so you could use this to attach this shield to another gym kit with the same size arm. But anyways, this is essentially an extra part. While we're on the topic of extra parts, actually, I might as well just run through these. So there are a couple extra parts, not much. There is this little cap which goes underneath the crotch to close up where the action base can go, and there is also this spare antenna. And I think this is kind of a nice little thing you can keep around, but I mean, you know, you'd have to modify another kit to put it on there, but you know, it's not very hard. It's not difficult. As you might have seen in the unboxing, you get 4 old-style regular beam sabers. They're in a darker pink color than I think the original print of this kit was. This kit was released in 2006, and the beam sabers then, I'm pretty sure, were a lighter pink color. Every now and then they release them in that color, but the ones that I got in this box are the darker pink color, which is fine. I'm probably going to be painting these anyways, so we'll just put that over here. Also included for long-range combat is the YF MG100 100mm machine gun. This thing is pretty cool. You should recognize it if you've built any of the Blue Destiny kits or the Ground Gundam or any of those guys. Unlike those, the E-cap on the bottom, not E-cap, sorry, it's an ammo cap here. Ammo cartridge? Magazine, that's the word. It's not removable, it's molded right into the gun. That's okay, it's very easy to mask off and paint. It has 2 points of articulation. One of them is this little handle here you can use to hold in support while you're firing, and then you have this flip back stock here, which is pretty sweet. Nothing new, obviously, you've probably seen this machine gun a few times. The barrel does have some vents in it, but they were just, you know, filled in out of the box, so I just took a pin vise drill and drilled out the little holes to give it more of a 3D look. Also, it has a dedicated trigger finger just for the right hand, so you can't actually hold this in the left hand without modification, but even that wouldn't be too difficult. So while we are on the topic of hands, you get a right and left open hand like this, which you can use to, you know, hold stuff or just not hold stuff, doesn't really matter. You also get a semi-articulated left splayed hand, which is kind of cool. It's articulated on the wrist, it can go back and forth like this. It's got the thumbs open, you can use this to support the machine gun or hold the ends of the twin beam spear, but I don't know, I find it kind of weird looking. Unless you're holding the machine gun. I think it's I don't know, not sure about that one. So what I might do is just take some of my closed fists from another kit and recast them so I can use some extra ones. Yeah, so those are hands. So I did end up closing most of the seam lines, so you can see a lot of them over here. There's seam lines on the shoulder pauldrons, there's seam lines on the chest armor, the torso here, sorry. There are seam lines down the center of both forearms here. These ones aren't actually hard to close up. When you're putting it together, you might be like, oh no, it's gonna sandwich this the joint in there, but you can get around that pretty easily. I'm gonna cover prepping this thing for paint and doing some modification on my channel, Liam's Hobby Room, so you can search that and check that out. One thing I want to point out here, on the back of the elbow joint, there was some raised detail, but when I went to close that seam line, I just thought it would be easier to sand off that raised detail and then just add it back again with some plasticard. So while this is white plasticard, the regular kit out of the box does have a little bump there. Seam lines at the back of the ankles, those ones are super easy to cover up. The only one that I haven't covered up, and I don't think I'm going to do anything with, and they're kind of hard to see, but there's seam lines on the tops of the knee armor here. That's because these two sides are squished together, and when they are, they just leave a little seam there. It's really not a big deal. I might even emphasize it with some weathering and some chipping. It doesn't really bother me at all. Oh yeah, there's also a seam line down the shoulder joint as well. And you'll have a seam line all the way around the torso. I think I mentioned that, but there's up on the top and then it comes all the way down on the side here. So let's quickly go over articulation. I'm just gonna blast through it and I'll pipe up if there's something notable worth talking about. Thank you very, very much for watching, everybody. It's very nice of you to click on my video. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to the Gunpla Network for more awesome Gunpla content. If you'd like to see more from moi, from yours truly, you can take a look at Liam's Hobby Room. On that channel, I focus mainly on doing full builds of model kits, so detailing all the painting process and talking about cool tips and tricks that you can use to make your Gunpla look very, very pretty. After all, one of my favorite things in the whole world is to make tiny robots look nice. I think that might be on my tombstone. So thank you very much, one and all. Take care of one another, and I'll see you guys next time on Liam's Hobby Room.